Do you want to become financially free with trading? I'm going to tell you the exact formula how you can make that work. Run a 9-to-5 job, whatever you're studying, doesn't matter. In this video, I'm going to give you the formula. You will know exactly how to become financially free with trading. Grab one of these, a journal, so you can write this down. This will save you so much time. We'll start with the obvious. The first part is that you need a technical system that has an edge. You need something that has been tested over ideally a decade of data. And the reason why I say a decade of data is that, as you can imagine, the economy, think of the world, think of the economy, how many things change over the years. Think about how many different governments will come in and out of power. It would be naive to think that we're not going to go through different cycles of volatility and all of the extremes. So what you need to have in place is a strategy that has been battle tested and it has weathered any of those storms. That gives you confidence that no matter what is going on, you know there's consistency throughout. So that's a given. So if you want to become financially free with trading, you have to put skin in the game, which is you've got to get some education. So this is your education part. Finding a strategy that is proven, finding a group, education, someone that you resonate with, someone that you trust, and that you can see a lot of other people making money and creating long-term consistency with that strategy. Then it's going to be the psychological element to it. Now, this is a part a lot of traders will neglect, and it's the reason why they spend so many years not becoming profitable, is because it takes them too long to come to the realization that there is only so much technical as you can understand, but if you can't overcome yourself, and there's lots of issues there, you know that we're emotional creatures. Humans are emotional. No one steps into trading with the right type of mindset that's going to help them be profitable. So you need to invest into that. Unfortunately, there is a formula to that as well, and it's not hidden in one book in the personal development section. It goes a little bit deeper than that. So you have your education is going to consist of your technicals and your psychology. So once you've got that in place, that's your skin in the game. That's you investing into your learning, just how you would invest into anything else if you wanted to learn something. Then next, which is a really small part, is your software. As you can see, I've got TradingView behind me. This is just where you analyze different asset classes. So a very low barrier to entry. You can have it on a subscription. You've got that, and that just takes care of business. These are your investments into your education and your software. When it comes to journaling your trades and all that type of stuff, there's lots of free resources that you can use. There are paid resources as well if you so wish that you want to choose that. But there are things like Notion for free, and you can journal it in spreadsheets. And we actually have within our community something called the Trading Center, where we've got that and so much more when it comes to the organization part of treating trading like a business. But whatever you decide to use, like, you can choose that. Once you've got that in place, it's then you're set. It's then just going to be time and having a plan on how you can become financially free. So let me share with you the formula that most people miss. Most people are getting into trading and they're just thinking, I want to learn the strategy. I'll ignore my mindset. I won't think that's important, and I'll just try and find a system where I can turn $100 into $1,000, $1,000 into $10,000, and all I'm focused on is making money. Yet the more they focus on money, the less they make. So this is what I would do if I was you and I was just starting in trading. I've been trading for a while and I want to become financially free. You ready for it? It's so simple. So what you do is you get a 9-to-5 job. So you have something, I'm assuming you already have one, something where you can produce the most amount of income. This is the part that people miss. So I'm not saying just get any job. Get a job that you are good at, something that you're already talented at, that makes you the most amount of money, in which that you get the most amount of time. And the reason why that's important is because you're going to funnel and use that money to invest into yourself. Now that can be education, softwares, and so on. Even just putting money into your brokerage account that you can trade with. The better the income that you've got coming in, the more money you've got for yourself to be able to trade with. So regardless of where you put it, it's always a good thing to do. So you find something that does that, but you don't want to find something that pays you well, but your routine is just absolute chaos, really unsociable, maybe not really good on your mental health. It might give you money, but you're compromising other areas. So ideally find something that's going to have the smoothest routine, the most sociable amount of time wherever you are in the world, but you get the most amount of income, because that's going to fund your trading career. And then what you're going to do is, whilst you're investing into yourself and you're learning, and everybody learns at a different pace, you're going to start stacking money aside until you get to 12 months of savings. Once you have got 12 months of savings under your belt, you're essentially in a position where you've got 1 year of financial freedom. Now, if you so choose that you want to go full time because you've developed consistency within that time, great, you can choose to do so. Where a lot of traders fail is they'll have a little bit of consistency, they'll have a tiny bit of money in the bank, and then they'll just quit their job and go full time. And it's this eagerness to just want to jump in. But what I want you to think about is slow equals fast. There is no shortcut. The shortcut is doing it the slowest possible way, and then you'll actually get there faster. The irony. So once you've got that under your belt and you've got that capital sat there, let's say your outgoings were 2k per month, and I'm going to give you another simple formula of this as well. Let's say it was 2k per month. You've saved 24k, it's in your bank, you know you're good for the year. Don't upgrade your lifestyle yet. Don't do anything yet. Even when you start making money, hold back. Just because you can doesn't mean that you should increase your financial payments to a nicer car or a nicer house, a nicer apartment. Forget that. Do you want to be financially free or not? I'm literally giving you the gems here that took me years to figure out. So you stack the money, and then you're naturally working towards becoming as consistent as possible. Now, if you've got good education, you've got good mentorship, this pathway for you is going to be a lot smoother. But with 12 months of savings, good education, and you're working towards getting funding, now that can be either you scaling up your own money. So if you've got a much higher paying income job, well, then you'll be able to top up your personal trading account a lot quicker. Most people are not in that situation, so then funding is a route that you'll take, or private investment, which is a bit more specific, more contacts involved. But when it comes to funding, I mean, nowadays you accessing funding is really easy. We have our own in-house fund, so we fund our own traders. That's the whole point. We want to leave no stone unturned, no excuses for people. Just work hard, learn the strategy, you will get funded, and then you can achieve everything that I'm talking about. But there's a cleansing process to all of this. So if I was you, I'd be aiming to get towards, how can I get a 6-figure funded account, and how can I stack 12 months? That puts you in such a phenomenal position. So if your outgoings was 2k and you've now slowly deposited money into your bank account, you're now a year worth of savings in your bank, and you've now got a 6-figure account. You might be wondering, well, if I've got outgoings, how am I going to stack a year worth of savings? That might take me like 2-3 years. That's the point. Along the way to consistency, you don't need to have a 200, 300k account to be making money and using that money to actually create that buffer. It can happen at a lot lower levels, even on 40k, 60k accounts that are very easily accessible. A lot of our traders, they start with assessments of 10k, and when they hit a 7% profit target on our in-house fund, that goes to 40k, and they've got a 60% profit split. So you start to do the math and you realize, right, even on a lower level where I'm not extremely profitable trading with hundreds of thousands or millions, I'm not there yet, I can still start to replace my current income and then use that money to create that buffer. So you can actually get there much quicker than you think. So imagine now you've worked your way up, and if I play this simulation for you, because this is what I would be doing. If you started with a 15k account in our in-house fund, you hit a 7% profit target, that takes you to 60k. When you hit 10% on that 60k, that takes you to 120. So you're essentially 17% away from starting with a 15k account. Now you've got 120. Imagine how much quicker you'd build that 12 months of savings. Imagine now you're a trader where you're trading 120k, you're now a 6-figure trader on an in-house fund. You got the education, you got the psychology training, you've got the trading center, so all of your organization is in place, and you've created that buffer where you've got 12 months of saving. That is how you start moving towards become financially free, because you're not leveraged anymore. You've got a year's worth of savings, and you've got 120k account with a 60% profit split. Even when you're making 4 or 5%, you'll be making more than what you could save. There is only so much you can save, which is why I believe everyone should learn to trade, because you've got that skill there and you're replacing your income and stacking it up. Now, do I recommend that being financially free is about going full time as quick as possible? Absolutely not. I would recommend, if anyone's going to quit their job, you should be at least trading $250,000 before you do that. And even then, before you even quit your job, there's a better transition. You can go part-time first. You can also, rather than just quitting working whatsoever, because remember, working has its perks to it as well. I'm not talking about the income that it gives you to take care of your bills. I'm talking about the order and structure and responsibility that it gives you that complements your trading. So before you quit, maybe the job that you do is too stressful and it doesn't really complement your trading. What you could do is go, I still like the order and structure of responsibility. So I could get a responsibility in something I really do like, where I'm not really that fussed about the money. I could take a bit of a pay cut, but it gives me something that complements my trading, that still takes care of, bare necessities. And then that takes care of that. And then I can focus on scaling my trading. That's also an option for you there as well, before going, right, bang, full-time trading. You get super bored and you think, I've worked so hard for this. I've got all the freedom in the world. You're going to lose your discipline. It's going to be chaos because you've got no one looking over your shoulder, zero responsibility. You start waking up late, and before you know it, your trading will go south. So I highly recommend get rid of all the gimmicks that you see online. You want to be financially free with trading, do it the right way. And I've literally given you the formula. The last part that I want to share with you, which is something I think most people don't consider, and I've mentioned it on this channel quite a few times, living below your means, but there's a formula to get richer from today. I almost guarantee I can make you wealthier in the next 10 minutes. And if you're thinking, well, how could you make me wealthier? I'm going to fix your spending habits right now. So simple. I want you to grab a journal, fresh sheet of paper, and I want you to do this cleansing process. Now, what you're going to be able to do is go to your mobile app, get your banking app up, and go through the last 90 days of your spending. And with a pen and paper, I want you to start writing down self-sufficiency. And your self-sufficiency number is essentially all of your outgoings. Those outgoings, I want you to look at which ones are actually contributing towards you living this life that you want. If you're someone who you clicked on this video, you want to be financially free, I'm confident you're someone who wants to live a great life. So I want you to be able to look through all of those outgoings and go, right, which one of those have a significant impact towards my growth? Some of them, I understand, you're not going to be able to get rid of. For example, if you have an internet bill, you might be able to negotiate a better rate on your internet for your home, right? But you need the internet because you need it for, trading and work and everything else. Your water, your electric, your gas, of course, these are necessities. I'm talking about go through there and go, what is essential? And you can write it down in the column, essential, non-essential. And then you've got to have a good hard look at yourself and go, where is my money? 90% of the population is terrible with money. That has been well documented for years, and it will continue that way because we're never taught it. So I'm giving you the biggest clue to become financially free in trading is not going to be in the best strategy in the world. It's going to be in things that you least expect, that are so subtle, but they have such a significant impact. And that is all you need to do. And what's going to happen within that time frame that you dedicate to looking at your essentials and non-essentials, you're going to become richer almost instantly, because you're going to look at, wow, I spend too much money on coffee, takeaways, petrol stations, gas stations, whatever you want to call it, going out when I shouldn't. Every single week I'm spending, $100 here, $100 there. You're going to recognize that you're $500, $600, $700, £700 better off every single month. You will be gobsmacked as to how much people waste money, and it's not obvious. Like, no one sits there. I almost guarantee that 99% of people, and this is difficult even when you're successful, no one knows exactly where you're at when you're out and you're shopping and you're buying stuff. When you get that card and you tap it, it is virtually impossible to know, yeah, do you know what? I'm definitely in the remit of being able to spend $100 right now. There is no way that you know that. But what happens is damage is done. You tap the card, you move on, then you look at your statement at the end of the month and go, I don't really have any money. And then you create the same loop and the same behavior. So there's only so much that I can teach you in terms of technicals and funding and all of the pathway that we've figured out. Nothing is going to fix your terrible relationship with money and your bad habits. So what I always recommend to our traders is, let's fix that. Let's cleanse that process. Let's make you almost wealthier straight away. So if you're someone who's thinking about getting involved in trading, but you've told yourself, oh, I don't really have the money to invest into trading. Yeah, you do. I just fixed it for you right now. It is impossible that you will go through those last 90 days of your spending and not find issues in there that you can't shave off the crap that is not going to give you your dream life, and then offset that and then reinvest that into education, into software, into funding, into you getting better, personal development into you. So there you have it, guys. That is the formula. That is your pathway towards becoming financially free, because part of you becoming financially free with trading is actually understanding all of the different levels so you don't mess it up, so you don't sabotage it. It's not just about you're technically skilled, now you're making money. You're statistically likely to ruin that, because I know someone who doesn't come from money and you suddenly get it, you're going to spend it. You're going to waste it on things that's not going to help you. And then in 2-3 years, you'll realize, oh, I could have got ahead so much quicker. So a lot of the things that you think is going to help you get to the bigger levels that you want isn't always obvious. And that's why we create the education. That's why we're so proud of what we've achieved. We've been here for 8 years for a reason. We're dedicated to creating a smooth pathway so you don't have to think. You just know, right, I follow in the footsteps of all of those successful traders that have come from humble beginnings or similar situations to myself. They've applied themselves, and now look, they're trading 100k, 200k. They're living below their means. They're being careful when they increase their lifestyle. I'm not saying that you can never spend stuff on nice things, you can never get the car. I'm saying there's a time and a place to do it. And if your question to me is that, Mark, but I want to become financially free, then I will get you there quicker if you listen to the advice that I'm giving you.